Well, great news. Today I come to you with the best news possible. Minecraft Skulk, all of the things associated with it. Yeah, it looks like they're going to be way better than we ever could have thought. What's poppin', everybody? It's me, your boy. Thanks for coming to the video. A little bit of Skulk news has dropped over the past few days. Today, that's what we're going to talk about. What do you think about the upcoming 1.19 Skulk features? Do you like the looks of them? Do you hate the sounds of it? Let me know all of your takes down below. While you're headed down there, leave a like. If you're new, subscribe. More videos all the time. Let's go. Let's start today by unpacking that intro a little bit more for you. So, Skulk stuff, better than we ever could have thought. Huge, gigantic, massive asterisk by the we. It doesn't apply to those of you who can see into the future and things like that. Of course, you would have known that this stuff is just always going to be amazing. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like a Skulk denier or anything. That would be like terribly tacky, just plain out straight up embarrassing. I always thought this stuff would be cool, but I thought the limitations around this stuff will kind of stop it from being as cool as it actually looks like it's going to be. The devs have reasons for doing things the way they do, of course, but I kind of feel like sometimes they really limit features and make them like way less dangerous, kind of like piglin brutes. They only spawn once, you take them out, they're good. Am I saying they should respawn? Yeah, that's funny. No, definitely not. But like, I'm just saying, I feel like features get limited to like an absurd amount sometimes. And I kind of thought that was going to happen with the Skulk. Like, basically, it wouldn't spread at all. I hope that unpacking made it a little bit more clear for you and not just infinitely more confusing, but if it's infinitely more confusing, I got you. So we're going to start here today with an old thread from like a long time ago. It was actually last year, November 26th, right after Thanksgiving. It's from King B-Dogs and BatBrain, 1998. It begins up here with a quote tweet by King B-Dogs from another dev, Alexander T. The quote tweet is basically saying, I've been working on the Warden with King B-Dogs and Marcio. It's very cool. Then King B-Dog says it's coming along really well. Lots of sniffing, digging, and roaring. Oh my gosh.
I'm terrified.
Okay, so far, definitely some words, but not really like news breaking or anything crazy like that. This is where it starts to get better though. So a random user in the gigantic wasteland that is known as Twitter asked King B-Dogs about shriekers. If you take all the shriekers out in the deep dark, is the Warden just gone? Did you take it out completely? King B-Dog's coming in with a reply here. Correct, but you will likely die in the process many times. It's a fun project though, so it's going to be tough. It's going to be really difficult to take the shriekers out. The Warden is probably going to pop up and try and attack you, I would assume, but I mean, that's not confirmed. Back to BatBrain, who is apparently very good. BatBrain is replying saying, yeah, I don't know about that, like I'm pretty good, you can't stop me. I'll just use wool blocks and sneak up in there, not a problem at all. Then King B-Dogs saying, well, actually, there are potential plans to make wool still create vibrations only when placed, but not afterwards. Currently, it's a bit too easy to just use wool to block sensors or shriekers. If there are some serious problems with that for use with Skulk sensors outside of it, I'll either think of a workaround that allows you to still use wool as a vibrationless placed block when you're using it for redstone. Hello everybody, welcome to Confession Time with Waddles, your favorite British boy. So, gotta be honest, before this weekend, I kind of completely forgot about the Skulk sensor again. Like, this thing was added to the game and tweaked with and modified, like, honestly, maybe a year ago at this point, or something. Like, a really long time it feels like, and completely forgot about it. Skulk sensor? How could I? Your wavy fangs? I'm sorry about that. But anyways, this thread is about wool occlusion. So wool occlusion is going to be this really cool mechanic tied to the Skulk sensor. There's a Skulk sensor right there. Here are some wool blocks. Wool occlusion is basically, I'm over here jumping around doing things like right here. Look at this. This is so fun. Game of the year for sure, definitely. And then the Skulk sensor wouldn't be able to know anything about what I'm doing over here because the wool basically like deadens the vibrations. Now, clearly, you can hear the Skulk sensor activating. Wool occlusion isn't actually a mechanic on Bedrock Skulk sensors right now. But if you go to Java and mess with the Skulk sensors, then it's there. Wool occlusion works, at least partially, and it's really cool. Now, Batman's big brain idea was, imagining we're in the deep dark right here. Actually, here, just make it the deep dark. There we go, boom, it's perfect. We're inside of the deep dark right now, and let's say maybe over here there's like a catalyst and, I don't know, a shrieker as well. I'm in the deep dark in survival. Oh no, there's a sensor. It's going to blow my cover and basically report on me to the catalyst or the shrieker over there. Then the shrieker summons the Warden. Big problem. Batman's idea is you just take wool and basically bridge through the deep dark, so something like this. I could sneakily sneak around inside of the deep dark, just like this, like I'm doing right now, make my way over to the shrieker, take it out, no Warden, no problems at all. And according to this old thread that I completely missed from King B-Dogs, they are considering making wool placing still send a vibration, which I think is good and definitely makes sense. Like, you're literally bringing it into the world. That state right there was completely changed. Definitely causes a vibration. Anything after on the other side of the wool, it's too like sneaky and cut out. But placing the wool down definitely caused vibration. That's good, and I completely missed it because it was Thanksgiving. Okay, sorry about that. But to be honest, that's the old thread. That's the thing that we're actually least interested in today. It's just good to know, a little bit of background, that the stuff is going to be difficult to deal with inside of the deep dark. And we love to see it. So back over to Twitter, this time just straight up to King B-Dogs. This tweet is from a couple days ago. Testing SCULK catalysts on Bedrock with other developers. And then we make our way down into the photo editing studio. This time with a brush full of beautiful, perfect earth tones. We love to see it. So this image, this is the first image on that tweet. If we go ahead and just enhance this image, brighten it up a little bit so we can see things, check this out. That's a whole lot of torches, like right in there. What? No. So the first big takeaway from this thing right here is that Minecraft developers have completely forgotten about the new lighting mechanics. The second thing to take away here is soul lanterns. What do they mean? Honestly, in my opinion, literally probably just spam. The third thing to take away is this right here. So they set up a farm. We have some spider spawners in there that look like essentially they're spawning spiders in water and then just dropping them down. The developers set that thing up. It's not a new spawner room or a secret or a leak or anything like that. It's literally just a setup. It's a setup for this next picture right here. Check this out. Here's another angle from probably the great, the beautiful, the luscious King B-Dogs. So down here below this farm, we have spiders falling. They hit the ground, and then all of this catalyst stuff is created, or SCULK, or whatever you want to call this stuff. I forget the name of the block. So mob spawns here, goes over here, then goes all the way down there, and then creates this stuff down here. It's just spreading throughout this whole cave. Now the cave is made out of a deep slate, so it's like a deeper cave, and it can easily take over all of this stuff. Not a problem at all. And that's it. That's basically it for this one. It's just really the developers testing out the SCULK mechanics and the SCULK spreading stuff. Looks pretty cool right here. Looks like a pretty small spread, but yeah, pretty cool. I also do want to say that I like how this stuff is spreading with like the gradient and this stuff like fading out kind of, you know. I do think that is really, really cool, but that's it. That's it for this picture. So that was down in the caves and what it would look like, and I do definitely think that the SCULK tones and textures and stuff match really well with deep slate and the deep caves. It's going to be creepy. What if, theoretically, we took that mob farm, made a super, and then threw it up on the surface? How would it look then? Well, it would look a little bit something like this right here. Seems like King B-Dogs, Nembomb, they're absolute monsters. Ruining, devastating the entire Savannah biome. I mean, look at these poor acacia trees. Surely somebody was going to want to take those trees down and use that wood type. Like, surely somebody, right? At least in my problems. But in truthfulness, the acacia trees are actually like a big thing that I want to talk about right here. So we have some kind of setup here. We can't really see the mob farm up there, but we can see this right here, which is definitely, I've seen speculation about it. 100%, it's just a command block with the SCULK stuff on it. If you actually just zoom into this right there, it's literally a command block, like some kind of command block repeating stuff. There's probably redstone right there or something. I have no clue. But this is not any concern at all. It's not a new block or anything like that. Pretty sure, for sure, it's just a command block. But anyways, look at the SCULK spreading all over this place. Clearly, it's taken over the ground a lot. And then over here, this tree. It has taken over the tree, but not really at the same time. So the tree is still the tree. Here we just have the SCULK growth stuff, like covering it all over the place. It's still a tree. Almost forgot about this one, which is a second step towards being a terrible person, but don't worry, I didn't forget about this one. So we have a SCULK catalyst. This is over on Bedrock right now, by the way. We have a mob, we take it out, and that thing starts to convert blocks over here. Now, apparently this can't convert sand, which I do think is kind of weird, but if we took it over here, put it into like a forest where there's lots and lots of grass, do the same thing, go by creeper, take that out, this thing is going to start spreading the catalyst on the ground. Now, right here, the big thing that I'm trying to show you is certain blocks are not convertible. So the SCULK stuff will take over your world. How much? Well, we'll talk about that in a second. But it won't be able to take over, like, everything in your world. Things like trees are seemingly going to be immune. Apparently, sand is going to be immune too. However, other things, other types of blocks, like dirt, for example, or grass, not immune. Not immune at all. You could definitely convert this stuff over to SCULK blocks, and you can actually convert a lot of these things over to SCULK blocks with a single catalyst. So, right there's two. However, in a follow-up tweet to, I believe, this picture right here, King B-Dog stated that all of this right here that we're looking at, all of this conversion is from one single catalyst. Like, one catalyst is doing the job here, and I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to make it out, but I think this might be the catalyst right there, spreading all of this skulk. This is insane, this is amazing, and this is way better than I could have ever thought here. This is so much skulk, like a serious problem amount of skulk. Like, a lot of skulk taking over the grass area, ruining the grass, and this is what gets me excited. I am so happy about this. This is amazing. Like, I can't even contain myself at all about this. So let's go ahead and move a ways away from those other catalysts. We have one right there. We have a creeper, like, all the way over here. Then I take the creeper out, and nothing, right? Like, no conversion because I'm presumably just too far away from the catalyst. It's kind of a bummer. I have been nervous, truthfully, about these features since they were added to the game. About them just being, like, too weak, like, not really a problem at all. Like, essentially, the radius would be contained within, like, 8 blocks, and it's like, ooh, scary, it's gonna take over, like, 8 blocks. Like, oh, no, that's terrible.
What will I ever do? Or even, like,
If you go 8 out that way and 8 out that way, so, like, 16.
oh no, not one single chunk of my world partially taking over. What am I gonna do?
You know what I'm saying? Like, really not that big of a deal. However, it doesn't look like it's going to actually work like this. It seems that this thing is going to take in XP and just gradually spread skulk somehow. Now, how is that going to actually work? I'm not too sure. We're going to have to wait and see. Because how is this thing going to theoretically convert a block, like, across the river? I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to see. Maybe the water will actually stop the spread. But, like, a single catalyst being able to create this much corruption or skulk spread or whatever you want to call it, like, this is amazing. This is, like, potentially a serious problem. Now, to be clear, this mob farm that is doing this is absolutely busted. It's not legal in survival. It's using a command block, dropping like 1,000,000 creepers on it. And King B-Dogs did say that this would take thousands and thousands of mobs, but still, the fact that it can actually spread and get really, really big, we love that. I absolutely love that. I was nervous about the developers making this thing just like too easy and too simple, like not a problem or scary at all. And this is good. This is actually like a problem and scary. Now, will this actually happen like automatically on its own? Like you have this in the deep dark and the warden's just taking out a creeper? Probably not, because other mobs are not meant to spawn in the deep dark. But still, the fact that this is here and potentially it could spread like a lot of skulk, I think that's a really, really good sign for this thing not being too easy. A little bit of a side note, the Skulk Vein right here. I would love to see the Skulk Vein maybe being able to take over other blocks. I don't know if it should be able to take over wood or something, but like if we had it on this thing, maybe it like slowly over time takes over the block and turns it into a solid block of skulks. So like for example, we have that right there. It's there for a long time, and then eventually you come back and it's actually just been turned into that. Could be kind of cool. Like it literally grows into the block and then just goes away like that. I don't know, could be cool, and then it could be interesting to see this stuff being able to take over this too. Like, if it's on the tree for long enough, oh no, your tree's gonna go away, so you better stop it. I don't know. It's not clear exactly what the developers have in mind for this stuff, but I feel like it could be kind of cool. I love the whole Terraria corruption stuff. If you played the game, it's just like that. I love it. It's amazing. It's such a cool concept, and it could potentially give you more to do late game. Like, maybe late game, the stuff starts to become more of a problem or something. I don't know, like you take the dragon out and it spreads faster or something. I don't know. But, oh, man, I love this. This is so cool. Let's go back over to the Twitter world with yours truly and take a look at this thread from King B-Dog. So, in this thread, people are replying things to King B-Dogs. Great replies, some not very great replies, but also questions. And King B-Dogs, today King B-Dogs comes armed with all of the answers. So if this sort of thing was just left unchecked, let's say in an SMP, could it take over a base? And basically, oh no, that's not good. And this is what I was saying. It has a limit to how far it can grow, and getting a radius this size takes thousands upon thousands of mob deaths. It can also only convert specific set of blocks, and none of them are blocks the players can craft. Now, look, King B-Dogs, you're a cool guy. I don't want to make this awkward between us or anything like that. What we have is great. Rooted dirt right there. Spawn creeper. Okay. Take the creeper out. The catalyst right there. Okay, it's on that. Yep, that's fine. Oh, and it's all over the ground, too, under the snow. Sneaky. We put that right there. We used the hoe. I just crafted dirt, correct? Yeah, I did craft dirt. I'm really good. Now, I can go ahead. Okay, it moved too far. Okay, small problem. But anyways, I crafted dirt right here. Where's my dirt? I do definitely think the idea that the Skulk Catalyst cannot convert crafted blocks, though, is definitely a good thing. Imagine, like, your diamond room that you set up, and then your 5-year-old brother comes in and puts this catalyst down and just takes the diamonds and turns them into those. I don't know about that, same with netherite. Yeah, I do think that is probably a pretty good rule, but I also do like the whole challenge idea of, like, this thing slowly seeping into something, taking its life away. It could be kind of cool. And then to address this concern right here, like a SMP, which is a very, very real concern, maybe a couple game rules. A game rule Skulk spread false, so it won't spread. Game rule Skulk convert false, so it won't convert other, like, crafted things. I don't know. Just a couple ideas. Thought I would put them out there. Continuing on in the thread here, we have a question, and a very good question that I was wondering too. Also, Skulk Catalyst won't create Skulk Shriekers? They will. So, clearly in this picture, we see sensor, 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 sensor. Yeah, sensors are literally all over the place, but no shriekers. I'm assuming this was maybe just turned off or something by the developers so they could test the spread or something. This spread of this stuff will also create shriekers, which, remember, spawns the warden in. Very, very dangerous. Gonna want to keep this under control. You should create a block that blocks the expansion of the Skulk thing. Maybe it's a good idea. You can already do this with things like fences. So this goes right back to the whole conversion concerns. What is a convert? What is it not? Well, you could do things like fences right here and stop the spread. Now, it seems like this spread is going to be like below this thing. So if I put the fences like that, not going to work. But maybe if I were to have like tried to cut this off like this, maybe that could have worked. I'm not too sure. Skulk stuff is pretty unfinished in game right now, so I don't think there's much of a point in trying to like test it and figure it out quite yet. We'll wait until this stuff is actually on Java as well, and then we could call this stuff a little bit closer to actually being, you know, how it's going to actually work. Back over to Twitter for one final picture to complete today's video. Ananbon, another Minecraft developer. I think Skulk is taking over the caves and the cliffs. King B-Dogs. Uh-oh. So this next one is really just a picture here that we have of a cave being converted over to the Skulk. I actually threw a poll up on my Instagram story to see what you guys thought. Is this the deep dark? Is it just a cave being converted? I always kind of thought this was just a cave being converted because we have grass right there that's not very deep or very dark in this image at all. And that's what Instagram thought too. Truly, you're all geniuses and you can't be fooled at all. But anyways, this thing being converted in this cave looks really, really cool. Like, look at how it's taking over the cave. It's all over the walls and stuff. Imagine this down in like a deeper cave or even just in a cave like this. Kind of an eerie vibe for sure. Another idea that I had is maybe enough of this stuff in an area changes the ambience of an area, if that's possible, and makes like kind of like an eerie sound or something. I don't know if that would be too scary or what, but like you get a large amount of this stuff in an area and then it starts to, you know, play different sounds or something, the game. I don't know. I think it would be kind of cool. But anyways, we have this image of definitely just a normal cave, not the deep dark or anything like that, taking over a whole area. It's very cool, and it is suspicious. So zoom in on this stuff right here. This stuff is in this picture right here. It's all over the place in this picture, actually over here as well. Then it is also inside of this picture, right over there. Is it in here? No. Is it in here? No. But it is in these two pictures right here. So what in the world is this stuff? This is what I want to end the video on. Is this a particle effect of this stuff spreading and converting things? I don't know. Or is this some kind of different plant or something? It's kind of hard to tell here. Initial reaction from me was this is definitely just a particle effect or something. And I mean, this could go back to just this stuff basically being unfinished, but check this out in the game. If I take a creeper out near it, we have not those particle effects, just really maybe a placeholder or something. I don't know, it doesn't really feel like anything special at all. We do have unique particles over there, which is really cool. I guess not really unique, pretty sure that's the same as the soul speed stuff, but still, a different particle right there. To me, definitely almost feels like this could just be a result of it spreading instead of a plant or something like that. But at the same time, I guess it could kind of be a plant. Like, maybe it's something that grows on top of the skulk block, or maybe the skulk block is actually doing something. I mean, I'm not too sure. And look at how terrible this looks when you zoom in, actually. I never did that. But anyways, what could it be? That's the big question of the day. Is it a plant? Is it a particle effect? Is it something else? So let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. And while you're headed down there, leave a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't yet. You're really missing out if you haven't subscribed. I'm telling you, you will regret it for the rest of your life. So subscribe. And so that's going to do it for today's Skulk News. It looks like Skulk is truly going to be way better than I ever could have imagined. This stuff is going to be a serious problem and could potentially spread like a lot. if you give the Skulk Catalyst a lot of mobs. One final thing to remember, when you take out these Skulk blocks, you get a little bit of experience too, so you could theoretically convert a large area of space that you don't care about over to the Skulk blocks and get experience. Very, very interesting. Anyways, today on the end card, I'll put the latest survival episode. Definitely check that out. Catch up on the series if you haven't yet. Also a playlist. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye.